Hi, folks. Today is Monday, May 11th. So happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. I hope you had a great day yesterday. Certainly better than the crazy snow on Saturday. That was a little weird. What I want to talk about today is really where we are. It feels like we're entering the next stage of this virus. And that stage has sort of two camps, or I would say, perhaps you all are in two camps. One is folks who are just sort of done with this and ready to move on and get back to regular life and be out of the sort of the quarantined within our campuses. And then there are folks who are very diligent and want us to do everything possible in terms of mask enforcement, in terms of not making any changes to our regulations so that the communities are as safe as possible. And what we're working on is really trying to balance those things, to be able to make the changes that we think are safe as possible, and allow people to have the best life and physical health and mental health over the course of this time, because to be fair, we don't know when this will all end, but also not change so much that we do anything that's foolish or risky. And what I would say to you is we're always going to err on the side of safety and caution. We're not going to do anything quick because time matters. I keep saying to our team, go science. Science matters, and science will catch up. And I think about that. I started thinking about that this weekend, that if you go back 8 weeks, so 2 groups of 4 weeks ago, this virus was essentially nothing in New Hampshire. So that's 8 weeks ago, 2 groups of 4 weeks. If you go back 4 weeks ago, we were in the thick of it, but there was almost no testing. And if you got testing done, it was 7 days or more to get your results, which is almost useless. There was no antiviral and no treatment at all. And now remdesivir, I can never say that word, but that's apparently an effective antiviral. And the scientific community is testing other known drugs that may be helpful. And 4 weeks ago, there was no vaccine, and there's still no vaccine. But in the last few weeks, vaccines have gone into human trials. Several options have gone into human trials. And if those are effective, it's an expectation that some vaccine will be available late fall, early winter. So what does that mean for us? It means that time matters. It means we have to hang in there. And the more patient we are, which is absolutely, I said it in the memo, not my strong suit, but the more patient we are, the safer we will be. Now, that doesn't mean we can't do anything. We are continuing to evaluate where we are and what's going on. And we're doing a few things. We're looking at how can we evaluate doctors' offices, how can we screen doctors' offices and their processes so that if you have to go to a doctor's visit, you don't have to quarantine. So we're going through that process now. I'd say by the end of this week, we'll have a form or a format to follow. And it would really be like a screening for your doctor's office to ensure that you're not put at any more risk by being there. And then separately, an attestation by you saying the only place you're going is from your community to the doctor's office and home. So we expect to have that rolled out next week. We're also looking at the quarantine period in general. So now that testing is becoming more widely available, how do we ensure, how do we allow for folks who might have had to quarantine to kind of get sprung if they test negative? So there's some complexities to that, because if you were exposed to the virus on day 1, that doesn't mean you would necessarily test positive on day 1. So you have to allow for some days to pass and the virus to spread a little. And then you have to wait for results. So it wouldn't be like there was no quarantine period, but at least maybe we can chop it down from 14 days. So we're working on that. Perhaps the Rite Aid option will be an option. We have some people testing that out. And maybe there will be other options for us as the state does more testing and more test kits are available. So we are absolutely working toward that. But even with that, I think my bigger message is hang in there. I know there are people who are saying, to what end? Like, when will this end, and what's the date? And I wish I could tell you. I wish I knew. I think we're going to see some tough things in the next 4 weeks. We're going to see case counts go up simply because New Hampshire's testing more now. And what we want to see is case counts go down. So we have to find the right way to evaluate whether or not spread is still occurring, even with case counts going up. The other thing I just would ask you to think about is, the course of these last 8 weeks, it probably has not been the most fun 8 weeks of your life. I'm going to let you in on a secret, not the most fun 8 weeks of my life either, or anyone else who works here. But you know what? They haven't been completely awful. I have seen some of the most beautiful things happen in the last 8 weeks. I've seen people make contributions of their money, contributions of their time, of their heart. People who are helping their neighbors when they might be down because they can't see their family. People, our staff, who are just rising up to the challenge in ways that I'm so impressed. And then you all are so grateful and so appreciative and so vocal with that, with our staff. And then they understand how important their role is and their job is. These are hard times. They're hard times for you. They're hard times for our team. They're hard financial times. They're hard health times. They're scary. And yet we have one another. And, that gives me a ton of comfort. And I hope it gives you a ton of comfort. It's the kind of thing where, you almost don't know how much worse it could be. But if we didn't have one another, if we didn't have people caring for us and caring about us and working with us, coming in, working hard, or just talking to one another, being the person to, behind the mask, but being the person that you can lean on without physically touching one another. That's what we have because we are a community. In Manchester, in Exeter, in Durham, we have 3 beautiful communities. And then we also have the family. And I see that every day. And so it's not like I'm going to invite another virus to come along in a few years to teach us about how important it is to be good people and how important it is to really understand the concept of togetherness. I'm actually never going to have that happen again, I hope. But it's not all bad. And we're itchy. We're impatient. We want out. We want to do normal things. I want to go to the beach. I'm sure there's plenty of things you want to do. And all I would ask you is hang in there. 4 more weeks, it's a pretty small fraction of your life. And 4 more weeks, who knows what will change? Who knows what will be better? And it won't be better if we have positive cases. So we need to keep the virus out. We need to get the virus contained in Manchester. And then we need to move forward with our lives. And this might be with us for a while. Our new normal might be something less than what we wanted it to be. But it's, in many ways, it's more than what we ever expected we could, because we're seeing the best in a lot of people. So hang in there. Wear your mask when you're out. Wash your hands. Don't touch anyone. Stay 6 feet apart. And thank you.